A very good morning to everyone joining us for this latest edition of Opinions That Matter. With the target setting season just around the corner for most of us, we believe this would be an ideal time to discuss on a topic of Salesforce productivity optimization. Any MBA college worth its salt would swear by the saying, strategy is useless without execution, and there is nothing called as a bad strategy. Keeping this as a backdrop, when we talk about pharma sales, there are many different schools of thought. However, processes and target achievement remain at the center for all. For our discussion today, we have the honor of having two stalwarts who have groomed their teams in very different ways and yet followed the same principles of success. Our first panelist today morning is Mr. Pradeep Patni, CEO of Acumentis Healthcare Limited. Under Patni sir's guidance, Acumentis has undergone a sea change in terms of performance and productivity in the past 1 year, and the organization is back on a growth trajectory after a very long time. Our next panelist is one of the most respected personalities in the pharma industry today, Shri P.K. Datta, Managing Director of Systopic Labs Private Limited. Under Datta sir's guidance and vision, Systopic as a company is focused on ensuring medicine for the poorest of poor. I welcome both our panelists to Opinions That Matter. Patni sir, I would like to start by asking you to tell us about your views on what is more important, target achievement or SFE hygiene.
Would obviously depend on the context. One needs to look at the cost and benefit of both the options and take considered call. SFE hygiene takes precedence over everything else because in trying to achieve a month's target, it could actually muck up the entire year as well as the orientation of the team, which is extremely important. From this perspective, I would believe that SFE hygiene does matter a lot and should be given a higher importance.
Datta sir is someone who has seen the industry evolve over the years. What are your opinions on this?
I personally feel and our company personally feels that we have to follow the standards set by our customers. So I think we believe in health and hygiene first.
That means basic process of meeting customers with regularity is far more important than target achievement alone. So, sir, if I may ask, as the head of the organization, what all parameters do you evaluate your team on?
That's what you see. There's a difference. Normally, the people in the sales they think they look after the sales. Sales means business. Sales means commercial part. And we as a company believe in process. And what is the difference between sales and the process? The difference is the medical representative is visiting the doctor not for business only. He is visiting the doctor as a process to represent the company, and if the doctor develops some credibility and love for our medical representative, he may prescribe or patronize our product. Simple. And follow the system which we follow. We are not evaluating each and every call of a medical representative that you call this doctor, what this doctor is prescribing. But we have a primary range of brands which the doctor has the maximum potential to write, and we have a secondary range of brands. Now, what is a secondary range? For example, the primary range for a gastroenterologist will be products like PPI and other products. But I'm for very sure know this thing that majority of gastroenterologists are not going to write my PPI. Though I'm a brand leader in PPI, but I know they will not write my product. So what we do, we promote them Normaxin.
Okay.
Which is my brand for irritable bowel syndrome. We promote them folic acid. So, which is a secondary brand in a gastroenterologist prescription, and even Normaxin is a primary brand. So, we are very happy if doctors, majority of gastroenterologists write our Normexing, but they will not write my PPIs. So now from where I will get PPI business? The PPI business I will get from physicians, GPs, and then I will get from orthopedics. Because, so very simple thing to do. No targets are ever given by the company. Only protocol process is followed. That's all.
Alright, so basically the evaluation is on if the specialty wise product grid is being followed and the visit patterns are being maintained. Now, Patni sir, if I were the head of sales who's recently been elevated, what would you advise me to evaluate my team on?
Obviously, the most important parameters are the ones you drive for sales performance, both in short as well as long term. Invariably, percent target achievement, growth, coverage, compliance have to be monitored and has to be more than the prescribed limit. That's a must. The other areas to be monitored as the team gets more evolved is the spread of PCPM, for instance, number of people achieving incentives, new product launches, sales mix, extremely important when the brands are of different profitability, and of course the AWACS and SMSRC data, which give you a sense vis-a-vis the competition.
Okay, so it has to be a 360-degree evaluation on each parameter. But then, Tata sir, I'm a little confused. How does this topic manage call reporting and revenue achievement when there are no targets given to the medical representative?
No, we agree with you. We do not exert, we do not insist upon them to fill certain data. You will be surprised that there are no medical representative reporting to head office. Our medical representatives report to our RSM, regional sales managers, and they in turn report to our zonal sales managers. And each and every zonal sales manager has got around I think 2 to 3 or 4 RSMs working for him. And each RSM has got around 5 to 7 people, depending upon the seniority of RSM. So similarly, so they follow the norms. Our regional sales managers submit us the data of calls, and they submit to their ZSMs, and then their ZSMs we have a EDP department in head office, which possibly follows up with them. But majority of the time, for marketing needs and other needs, we depend upon sources like you people. We come to know from them how things are. We do not exert with our medical representatives that they have to send any reporting. And he is meeting the doctors very earnestly. There is no need for such a follow-up because you see, our business is secondary. Our business is not primary. Whatever a medical representative sells is not our business. Whatever a medical representative liquidates in the market, that is our business.
Right.
I think we are the only company in India which has followed secondary business right from our inception.
Okay, so there is evaluation but not on primary sales but on secondary sales achievement. Now, this actually brings me to another issue. Patni sir, in corporates with multiple divisions, KOL development program becomes a little tricky as each division may end up focusing on the same HCP where there is a overlap of therapy areas of interest. How do we manage this?
KOL development is an extremely important element of promotion for any brand which the company has in the marketplace, especially more in the specialty and the super specialty segment. You cannot but be most particular as far as building and management of key opinion leaders is concerned. Therefore, it is imperative that HO is actively involved in planning, execution, and monitoring of all KOL related activities, including, of course, the right selection. This will create a high level impact as well as build layers of relationship with important doctors who really, really matter.
So there is one more very important issue that we collectively face as an industry, that is attrition. Now, over the years, we have witnessed an increase in attrition at the grassroots level. The average lifespan today of a medical representative is probably around 1.5 to 2 years. I, as an organization, when I spend so much of time, effort, and money on training of a medical representative and then see him join another organization for a very small hike, I kind of feel cheated in many ways. Datta sir, you had earlier mentioned that there are no targets for the medical representative in your organization. Do you also face attrition? Also, what are your views, sir, on training of the medical representatives?
The medical representatives who leave us are around 10 to 15% only.
Okay.
Not more than that. Because in our company, people are staying. When they join the company, they come and they want to be with us. They want to join us. They are part of the organization as such. But we strongly believe in training. We strongly believe in grooming. We strongly believe in knowledge enhancement. And that is constantly happening. That is continuously happening. So I am of the view that training is a must.
Patni sir, what are your opinions on this?
Irrespective of level of attrition, I would believe that training is an extremely important element. When a representative of your company makes a call on a customer, it has to be in always the best way. Whether the same rep will continue or not, the impact on customer, especially if it is negative, will still be there. So I would suggest that each rep has to be adequately trained well and evaluated before she is allowed to face the customer. The cost benefit ratio still is skewed towards training your rep well, irrespective of the level of attrition.
So there we have it. There are no shortcuts to success. Working on the basics is the correct way to long-term sustainable growth. Well, thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure speaking to both of you, and this was probably one of the most interesting and enlightening discussions that we have had on this forum. With this, we also conclude the webinar on IPM performance highlights for the month of October 2021. Thank you all for joining us today morning. Have a great day ahead.